I'm gonna be real, it's a pretty good time to be an anime fan. This year we have so many banger animes coming out. Jujutsu Kaisen, Mushoku Tensei, Frieren, ReZero, I don't know, Rent a Girlfriend maybe, I don't know. And with that comes the inevitable question. How well will they adapt from the manga? But with how these animes have been handled the last few seasons, most people are understandably expecting these seasons to be adapted well in the eventual anime. However,
Stinky Mr.
There are a lot of adaptations that, let's be honest, did pretty terrible. But for now, I'll just be focusing on the ones I actually know about. Let's start.
Keep your hands off my—
I'm sure in one way or another, most of you are familiar with the tragedy of Seven Deadly Sins Season 3. At this point, the anime was already fairly controversial, but it was pretty much agreed that the show at least looked good. After the movie that followed Season 2, Studio Dean took over for the rest of the series, and thus, Seven Deadly Frames was born. Now, I was actually there in the trenches when the flaming first started. After I'd watched Season 2, I actually started reading the manga because, at the time, Season 3 hadn't come out yet, which is probably why I still hold the series in high regards. I do feel like there's a bit of improvement in Season 4, but even with my glazed covered glasses, I can admit this is a pretty poor adaptation. What I find interesting is that Studio Dean actually worked on the second movie, which actually looks pretty good, at least compared to Season 3 and 4. In my opinion, there's definitely way worse adaptations, so yeah, I'd say it gets overhated on. Of course, I could be glazing, but you know, that's just me.
Hey guys, One Punch Man's biggest abuser here.
Now, I'll be real, I haven't seen Season 2 or 3 of One Punch Man.
I know that.
The first season is pretty much universally loved, much like the manga, which is basically a completely different look from the original webcomic. The first season nails both the style and animation, and it holds up pretty well even today with the big, boom of movie quality animation. Season 2 is considered a downgrade compared to Season 1, but from what I could find, there wasn't any massive outrage within the community. Not as good, but still pretty decent. But Season 3, oh boy. Season 3 basically went viral across the entire internet in the worst possible way. Like, how do you, probably one of the most popular new-gen manga adaptations, get mogged by Dokkan Battle? It's honestly kind of funny seeing these random clips on YouTube Shorts, and then the comments are just like, damn, this is worse than 7 Deadly Frames. Which, fair, but also...
They cut me out of the show.
So Promised Neverland was an anime that I'd always heard about, but never really looked into it. I think I watched like the first episode, but nothing beyond that. It seemed to be received well when I first heard of it, but the next time I even heard that name,
and it is, without exaggeration, the most abominable, putrid pile of dog shit I've ever seen in an anime.
I never actually knew why it was so hated until I researched it for this video that you are watching right now on this channel that you can subscribe to. W plug. And, oh man, they did some major no-nos. They skipped an entire arc. They spent too much time explaining things rather than just showing it. Y'all ever heard of show, don't tell? Went to school. The animation received a downgrade. They changed the ending a bit, and it condensed roughly 150 chapters of manga content into just 11 episodes. This is probably the worst adaptation of this video. Poor animation is one thing, but skipping entire chunks of the source material is honestly embarrassing. Even though I never watched the series, I'm sorry for all the fans who watched it, because apparently the first season was actually pretty good. I'll probably watch it at some point, but yikes, brother. Now, I didn't talk about that many anime in this video because, oh god, there's probably too many to count that got messed up. But if this video does good and y'all like it, maybe part 2? Is that something you guys would like? Let's say 15 likes for a part 2. That sounds about accurate, right? If you've got any animes you'd like me to talk about that were adapted poorly, let me know, and I'll try to check them out. You know, we have a little thing going, you help me, I help you. And, Happy New Year's!